Perfect. Thanks, Sophie, for the introduction. Who's working in AI? In AI? Who's working in marketing? Yeah, I have no clue about marketing, but some ideas what you can do with AI, probably, in your business. Who believes that AI can change your job? A few. Oh, it's 40%. If I would ask what's with your neighbor in the office, you'd probably say yes. So that's normal. 1/3 believe that it's changing my job, but 60% believe it's changing all the world. So something's missing here. And yeah, the world is changing. Just a few information for you. What's changing now? Today is we have more data. A good example is if you see IT sector is growing by 2 to 3%, so forget about data there. But if you see the potential of IoT, you see 40, 30%, 40% a year. And that's data at the end. So we'll have more and more data, and we are absolutely sure we have no clue how to do by ourselves, so we need algorithm and other kind of system. Computer power, we are near to 1,000 petaflop today. So we outreach our brain there by 1,000, but that's just theoretically. As you know, we are far beyond our performance as human with systems. Algorithm, deep learning, now we can have, that's a huge number, isn't it? 10, potential 218. If you say 19, oh, wow, that's another whole universe in the data already. So it's extreme what you can do with data today. That wasn't 2 years ago. So that's new. If you have data today, you can do some things. Insights of data, as we can have some insights from Stefan later on. Connectivity, last but not least, connectivity. Today, we have only 3% of all devices are connected. Imagine the potential if we connect all these devices, or at least the new ones, to our data infrastructure, and what you can do, what your business can do, what your business model will look like in the future and the coming years. That's something that we all hear around. So what's with the robots? Will robots take our job, or what's with my job? And as Swiss Cognitive, we always say, no, not the robots will take over. We will augment your brain to prepare for the future. So it will be a symbiotic way to do. What's the difference today and 2, 3 years ago? That's muscle and brain at the end. Muscles means, so we had all the scripting, the automation, the system-based, rule-based approach, as you know, the best ERP system, the best system in place for your industry. But now we move on and say there's not only rule-based, there is intelligence-based decision points. So coming from the power and muscles going to brain, that's a totally new approach. So that's ending in a massive disruption also for our society. So it's not only that we can talk about IT here and some algorithm, we have to talk about also what's the impact on our society. Probably now you're realizing, oh, big data, it was something 2, 4 years ago, but it wasn't on my roadmap at least. But now it should be on your roadmap, because if you not have done this homework, big data, open architecture, agile, organizational kind, you are missing some potential now in the market. So it's an enormous potential that we're facing now, and the world is facing. So it's not a question what you do. The question is what the world is doing, and potentially you have to move on also. So I could stop here and say, that's the clue at the end. We have to have insights to our brain to make better decisions in all directions, strategic way, tactically, or manufacturing, and doing better things, and doing better also in the daily approach. We have so many things that we do daily, repeatedly. Probably 90% we open emails, we close emails, we answer emails, we delete emails. So why not having better system in place? And that would be great. So we have more time to play around in our free time and not working the whole day. So where we are now today. So super intelligence, so that's really, really far away. That's even not in a lab today. Super intelligence is what we should have also some question from the society, how we handle super intelligence. So, but we are now in the very narrow AI, so supervised learning AI. So we need, for example, 1,000 elephant photos to recognize an elephant. In the mid is reinforced learning. That's for the industry, for marketing, and so on. It's on the horizon to use this. It's not really in product today. So if we talk about AI, applied AI, we talk about supervised learning. As we go further, probably down the road, another 30, 40 years, we will phasing the potential of unsupervised learning, super intelligence. That will be that concerns me also, as it brings another question, lots of other questions to our society. So we are now on the narrow AI, but there is a lot of potential. All the potential that you can see in the market today is narrow AI.
Self-driving cars can just be programmed to stay in the middle and accelerate simultaneously. They'll just do it. The more self-driving cars at an intersection, the more efficient the intersection gets. A solid lane of self-driving cars vastly increases throughput. Actually, if you ban humans from the road, which we should totally do anyway, you can get rid of the intersection entirely. After all, a traffic light is just a tool for drivers on one road to communicate with drivers on another, poorly and coarsely. Red equals don't go now, we are coming through the intersection. Green equals good to go. But self-driving cars can talk to each other at the speed of light. With that kind of coordination, no traffic light necessary. Just as with a highway, the best intersection is no intersection. Humans will never drive this precisely. At the intersection, the fundamental problem with traffic that you watch unfold, as with everything, is people. So the real simple solution to traffic is no more monkeys driving cars.
Yeah, we don't know, but here, the conclusion of this short video is we should ask all systems, system concept in the market, and ask, is there any change coming up? And should we believe that's also potential for our business? So here a concept, very simple concept. We have been over a million of years with the concept, same input is not same output. That's human. On Monday, with a beer, whatever, on Friday evening, in stress, we do not have same input, same output. That's human, and that's great. That's creativity, and that's just how we work. That's our concept. Over the industries revolution, we learned quality and performance is same input, same output. Ask yourself, if you do right, you normally do in processes right. That's good. You have processes management in your companies, and that's at the end, same input, same output. That's in a highly regulated industry like banking, it's also regulated to do the same input with the same output. But now, we're coming back with technology. And in AI, ages, we are not having anymore same input with same output. And ask yourself in your industry, if you are in a hospital, how to handle this. That's hard. So it's not only technology that you're facing, how to use technology, it's also how to implement in your culture. But because now it's turning back and you have to ask yourself, oh there's a very agile organization now, and same input is not same output anymore, or at least you have to say process management is something like cognitive process management. So a new term, a new idea, and if we see the use cases around today, we see a lot of potential, but they can't fulfill this potential in their own company because the readiness of the company, culture-wise and organization-wise, leadership-wise, is not there. So that's a huge conclusion after many years as we started the market. So now, if you could see here, that's how we work in our brain, and if we bring the technology to this brain, so you can see, okay, like a brain, the technology is around here. So we're listening to something, we understand, we decide, and also we bring this to an output, whatever this means in voice or in written language. So the technology goes around our brain at that. And now it's everyone, every industry, every single market is infected. Doesn't matter which industry you are in. If you are a painter or a doctor, of course, doctors have so huge potential. As you know, it's very easy today. Easy means to recognize an image and leveraging the knowledge of an image recognition in a hospital compared just to one single doctor meaning or competence and expertise to this patient. So there's different potential, but all the industry are affected. Here's some example. Healthcare, I mentioned already. Transport, you can see before we invest in a new lane between Zurich and Bern, probably we better invest in autonomous car and how they drive and to tighten up the cars on the street before we invest in new infrastructure. Because this lane highway in Zurich and Bern probably can have at least double or 10 times more traffic on the street if we are not infecting as human. Today we have a simple concept. If we have more people, we have more innovation. Doesn't matter is this formula right or wrong, but at least we can say more potential grows, innovation potential grows with more people. But now AI comes to the stage. So AI is not only a tool to do it better, faster, and cleverer, it also drives us in terms of innovation by themselves. And even here, it doesn't matter it's right or wrong, the formula, but it brings us a huge plus also in the innovation part. For example, here, the pharmaceutical to invest in medicine is totally different story if you do with AI and bring up digital twins and so on, and go through 1,000 and million times a year the medical approach instead of having the approach and listening to patient and going to hospital and do all the field exercises. So in terms of innovation, that's a totally new story, new age. So we will facing that AI themselves will bring innovation. So where we stand now with the performance? It's probably the point we are here, it's totally wrong. Depends, at least. We know Excel is better than we to calculate some things. We know easy task, some calculators are bringing better together as we can, and without being tired and so on. So it's very easy to outperform human, but that's only performance. And performance, yeah, we never can beat with a system to be better in a performance side. But the competences, it's another direction. It's another direction that we can beat easily today, algorithm and AI technology. So that will be this combining of performance and competence. I bring here an example, AlphaGo Zero, where reinforced learning, so after 40 days, he could beat all the players around. 40 days. But if you would say AlphaGo Zero, please lose the game, he couldn't figure out what's losing because he didn't know that he was winning before. So that's competence. That's how we figure out what we do here. What's the purpose? So, and AlphaGo could only do this because AlphaGo was listening and following the strategy that he saw on the with all the players around, but couldn't perform. Had no clue what he's doing and not the competence to do. So at least now we're here to say, okay, creativity, emotional intelligence, that's for us. And if we lose all the repetitive tasks, just imagine we're coming back to our real source, emotional creativity and what's in for us. And all the repetitive tasks will augment our brain, the insights of the data. And here, shift from technology literary people to people literary technology. That's probably, in one sentence, very true approach that we can see over the next few years. So we will not die. No worry. But we have today a potential to use AI for our purpose. So I come to conclusions. What you can do in your environment. And of course, you have to convince people. You can nothing do with AI against people. Bring people together and see the potential. Teach them. Leveling expectation means don't jump to the hype, jump to the real trend in your industry, into the real use cases, and managing also fears, realistic fears, and fears that's going around today and not in 5 years' time. Takeaway, I would start with small steps. So you can celebrate, taking parties, have a success, and so on. And keep in mind, it's combining performance and competence. If you talk about having insights of your client and the system doing this better, and I can prepare for the client's meeting, that's great. That's performance to competence. I know the social competence for this client, and that's great. Last but not least, it's a time of inclusiveness. It's a time of bringing regions together that wasn't able to follow up with the economy strange in cities like Zurich. Bringing also people together with they have problem to join the workforces. So it's a time also for inclusiveness. Last question to you. You have here 4 pillars, 4 very important pillars. That's like an AI maturity. You facing problems in AI talents? Probably, yes. Look for ecosystem, join ecosystems. Probably you have not the right data access. Data you have, but not the access. And also you need technology stack. You need basic infrastructure, open technology stack. Last but not least, you need the right partner in the leadership. Leadership is very important. And closing up with this one, leadership means also being master. Thanks for listening to me.